In terms of the ministers of the Mincom board that are appointed in the 7th administration, is the Minister of Finance, who's the co-chairperson, the Minister in the Presidency, the Minister for Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, the Minister for Basic Education, the Minister of Electricity and Energy, the Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Human Settlements, the Minister of the Public Service and Administration, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, the Deputy Minister of Finance, and the Deputy Ministers of Finance, because it's two of them. Those are the people who work with National Treasury and the Minister of Finance to prepare the budget. And the President and the Deputy President also, the President takes over the chairing of Mincom board at particular instances so that we can then finalize the budget. And to prepare for this budget, including the MTBPS, Mincom board and the Treasury Committee met twice outside the induction period. That's the Mincom, but we met on the 14th of October 2024, and also we met again on the 28th of January 2025, because we had previously met to consider the budget, to be inducted, to say what happens, because some ministers we knew. And what are the key issues that those two meetings considered? The two meetings considered the latest economic outlook, the latest fiscal framework, and the revenue estimates, and the medium-term fiscal outlook, and the fiscal strategy of the country, to say how we're moving and what is happening. And we then, after the Mincom board met, the Treasury then prepared a report for a special cabinet meeting which dealt with the MTBPS, the medium-term budget policy statement, on the 18th of October. And we also met, there was also a presentation of the budget outlook on the 29th of January at the Cabinet Lekutla. And this presentation included the macroeconomic framework and the fiscal outlook, saying what are the funding challenges, what are the expenditure outlook, what are all those things that were considered in funding the budget. And then on the 5th of February, there was a cabinet meeting that considered the budget, and there was a special cabinet meeting on the 19th that considered the budget. And if you park that process building up to the 19th, what then happens post the 19th? As we had agreed on the meeting of the 19th of February, is that there must be direct engagements around the budget. We met on the 24th of February and then the 3rd of March. On the 24th of February, we met and gave us proposals of what should be considered. But on that meeting of the 24th of February, the proposals that were coming through were both medium to long term. But the issues with the budget is that the budget had to be funded. So you can't say we are going to collect more revenue through SARS, the tax collections of 42 billion rands, and therefore we should not fund, because that's going to come in the future. But the budget has to be funded from the 1st of April. So we then had those discussions, both medium term, and the president set up a team of ministers that was chaired by the deputy president to go and consider those options that came from the discussions of the ministers and give us proposals to as the cabinet to consider and then assist the Minister of Finance with direction of which of the options are being taken. We then met on this again on a special cabinet meeting of the 3rd of March. Why the last meeting was the 3rd of March is because there are a number of things that National Treasury has to do before finalizing the budget, and they indicated that if cabinet can finalize its own decisions by the 4th of March, they'll be able to ready themselves to present the budget on the 12th of March. So we met, and I'm not going to go on the options that were there, but there were 5 options that were tabled. All of us, with no exception, we agreed on the options that were being tabled. And the options that were being tabled, there was no option that did not have some sort of form of a VAT increase. And we said, given that all the options have the VAT increase, we are then mandating National Treasury to then consider what is the best option that does 3 things. 1, maintain the fiscal discipline and the fiscal framework, because it's important. It's important because now we're starting to reduce our debt servicing costs. The debt is going to start to stabilize. We are registering a primary fiscal what do you call it? Forgot the term. But that progress cannot be undermined. We said, two, it must also fund growth. It must make sure that it has those allocations that will spur economic growth and participations of South Africans in line with the priorities of the 7th administration that is led by the Government of National Unity. The third one, we said it must mitigate the impact on the poor and the middle class, because we understand the impact that is having on the middle class. And that is the mandate we then gave to National Treasury.